By now, most of the internet has seen the leaked photos of DeeDee Blanchards' crime scene. And a lot of you guys didn't realize that these photos have been out for a very, very long time. And they were actually leaked by my, shall we say, ex-partner, when she put them out in her Patreon, and another creator decided to put the link out online. Some of those photos made it onto Reddit a while ago, but not the ones. You know what I'm talking about? Not the ones that everybody's talking about. Fancy and I had a live back in January, early February, where we were discussing the crime scene photos as I was on my computer and she was on her computer, and we were having a live, and we obviously couldn't show any of the photos because it's TikTok and we would have been canned immediately. But there's a lot of things in those crime photos that do not make any sense, like any sense at all. I'm just going to pick a couple of them. So a lot of people don't know that there was supposed to be between 14 and 17 wounds. And if you look in the photos, there is some that are obviously darker than others, insinuating that some were done, say, before. Most people did not know that there was a gash along her neck that damn near severed her head. Most people did not know that her nose was completely broken, which is weird because she was supposed to have died in bed. And while people talk about how gruesome they are, the problem is with the crime scene, for anybody who knows anything about crime scenes, they're not gruesome enough. They're not even remotely gruesome enough for what should have been there. It's not there. First of all, I want to explain that there was no rope underneath her. That was a prayer cloth. She slept with this prayer cloth all the time, and that is the weird rope type thing. It was a rope blanket thing, and it was a prayer cloth. It was not a rope. It was not used for binding, anything like that. That was underneath her, that was soaking up most of the situation. However, when you remove her and you look at underneath her, sheets could not have soaked up as much as what was missing. When you take the sheets off and you look at the bed, the bed it's missing a lot. It's missing a lot. And the weird thing is over to the left side, there is what looks like possibly maybe a shin imprint at about 9 o'clock on the photos, and most of the bed is actually devoid of anything. And when you even take the topper or whatever off, the mattress itself has little tiny pinpricks, just nothing, absolutely nothing. And there should be so much more. For people who were haunted from the picture of her eyes, they were looking for petechia. Petechia, it has to do with strangulation, etc. If you paid close attention, there was actually also spatter in the hallway, on the walls in the hallway. But the thing that bothers me the most, the thing that I've been most vocal about since I saw those photos back in January, is the problem with the lividity. If you look at her body, there's lividity on the upper part of it, on one side of her arm, and there is lividity on the lower part of her legs. Now, I have tried to figure out every type of contortionism of exorcism that I've ever saw in any movie, and I cannot figure out for the life of me how blood flow could have stopped on an arm over here. Like this is a janked up thing of Twister here. How can lividity be here and over here on a leg? There's something very, very wrong with the lividity. Lividity should be on the left side of the body or the right side of the body, the top part of the body or the bottom part of the body. But what it shouldn't do is cross the body in a diagonal fashion. I do not understand a feasible way that lividity could settle in the manner that it settled. In the crime scene photos, other things that some people may have missed. There is a wheelchair that is basically blocking most of the bathroom that she was locked in because she was shaving her parts that were in text shaved earlier that day, but that's not my problem. In a portion where they're showing the bathtub, there is actually a bottle of men's shampoo in the bathtub that they end up actually taking for evidence. There's women's, there's blah blah blah, and then there's a bottle of men's. Why was there a bottle of men's shampoo in their bathtub? It was Irish Spring, so maybe body soap, I'm not really sure. but there was a bottle of men's soap in that bathtub. Did they take a bath? Because that was never mentioned. All that was mentioned was that she spent about a good hour and a half cleaning up, unclothed, and then they, you know, did their deal and they left. While we're talking about doing the deal, actually, she made a point to say in her interrogation that they removed all the toys from her bed. Now, if you go back and you look at the crime scene photos, all of those toys are perfectly placed on that bed. So you're telling me that you have done what you did to your mother, and then you did what you did to each other, and then you put the toys back on the bed in a perfectly normal manner, looking like they've never been touched. That's what's on your mind. You have somebody over there, and you've just there, and what you think about is, I need to put my toys back on my bed in a very good manner. I'm sorry, that has never flied with me, ever. The neighbor says that they climbed through a window, but the window that he says he climbed through, there's stuff in front of it. So I would love to know how he climbed through it, because all the windows have stuff in front of them. Now, I'm going to be going over other videos, especially the interrogation video and the appeals video, but she was stating that she had a bag packed, but then suddenly somehow he was packing for her, which made no sense. They went to the bus station where they had the foresight to buy him a ticket, but not her a ticket. And then via text messages, she told him repeatedly to not wear gloves. She said repeatedly, don't wear gloves. And he said, I'm wearing gloves. So what did she do? She took the gloves, she put them in a manila envelope with the weapon, and mailed it to his house, because you got to make sure he gets caught. I mean, first you tried to get him without the gloves. You tried to have the fingerprints all over there, and when that didn't work, you picked up the gloves, you stuck them in an envelope, and you mailed it to the damn house. Brilliant, really. Those are just some of the issues that I have with the crime scene, but knowing what I know and getting involved, or Lord knows I wish I would have never gotten involved, and hearing things from insiders that to this day I do not quite understand. I was told by different sides and different people that there was all kinds of DNA around that room. It was always a mixed bag on whose DNA. I heard from one camp it was his, and I heard from one camp it was hers, but apparently that room was full of DNA.